What is up, friends, lovers, enemies of the state? Here we are with a book review. As you can see, I have not only dyed my hair to be an ombre, balayage kind of thing, but I also now have a nose piercing. One could say I'm going through a crisis. We'll see what my therapist says tomorrow. This is a review of Me Talk Pretty One Day by David Sedaris. This was not originally going to be the book that we read for this month. That was going to be Everybody's Autobiography by Gertrude Stein. But as I read through the first 3 pages, I was like, this way too closely follows the autobiography of Alice B. Toklas, which I don't have with me, and at this point probably am never going to read because I hated the other book that we read by Gertrude Stein just so much that I never want to go through that again. What is Me Talk Pretty One Day? This book is essentially just like a series of vignettes about David Sedaris' life. David Sedaris, when he wrote this, was like a 40-year-old who wasn't that established as a writer. Obviously now he's extremely established and has written multiple bestsellers. The reason I decided to switch to this was because it wasn't about him being gay. I figured it would mostly be about the way that he speaks, which it sort of was. It was sort of about the way that people speak about certain things, or I don't even know. It was kind of all over the place. I did give this book a 3 out of 5 stars just because it didn't wow me in any way. I was somewhat disappointed. I remember really, really liking Holidays on Ice, which was the first sort of Sedaris memoir thing that I read. It was really good. It was very, very funny. I definitely think that this Me Talk Pretty One Day was funny, but it wasn't as gripping as Holidays on Ice was, which I believe I read in a day, which isn't surprising because it was only 100, 150 pages, whereas this is just around 300. This book largely focuses on his relationship with his father, and then when he and his partner were living in France, which I don't know if they still live in France, or if they're even still together. It talks about Sedaris learning French and just his interactions speaking with French people. So it's kind of about that, and about not fitting in because of the way that you speak, sort of. But then also there's little vignettes in here that aren't about speaking at all. So I don't know how to explain it better than that. I mean, definitely you could sort of see it as a period of his life where there's one vignette about when he was young and went to speech therapy, and then 90% of the vignettes are about him as an adult. And I would say about 50% of them are about him as an adult in France. So there's that. Would I say it's the funniest or the most poignant of his writings that I've read? No. Which is largely why I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. Also for the fact that I just didn't feel compelled to... I didn't feel compelled to read it for any reason other than doing this video. And also for the fact that I can't not finish things. I mean, this is... there's not too much to say. So it's gonna be that, and I'm sorry. I feel weird doing short book reviews, but just because other people make their videos 10 minutes so that they can monetize them doesn't mean that I have to do that because I can't monetize my videos. And also I have a real job, so I don't need to. So it's okay for my videos to be short, and this is me talking to myself out loud to you. Next month's book is Ooh Woo. We're going to be reading Shame is an Ocean I Swim Across by Mary Lambert for next month, because the book that I had originally thought that we were going to read is a graphic novel that's like $17. So, like, no thanks. Plus, I already own this, and it's beautiful, and it's so soft. And I was very surprised that Mary Lambert, the singer, is not straight. But she's not straight. And at one point she had a girlfriend. I don't know what's going on in her life right now because I have never listened to her music. But I'm excited to read this because it's purple, and also because I didn't want to read the Andrea Gibson book of poems that I have. Sorry about it. Thank you so much for watching. You can find all of my links to my social media down below, including the links to both of my podcasts, one of which is a news and politics podcast. The other one is currently about the L Word. Once we finish watching the L Word, that podcast is then going to be about us watching and talking about Queer as Folk. So very exciting, very cool, very gay. You absolutely should join the Goodreads group, which I want to foster conversation there about the books, but like so far that hasn't happened. But also if you join the Goodreads group, you can get an idea for like what the like projection is of the books that we're going to read. And if I last minute decide to change what the book is going to be, I like post it there. So now you know. Thank you again for watching. Next month's book is going to be poetry, which I am so happy about because that is my favorite genre, and I will read it so fast that I can just read so many other books in between. Which I'm also currently reading Dykes to Watch Out For by Alison Bechdel, because apparently she graduated from Oberlin, which is great because, bitch, that's where I am. So potentially you might get a review on that. Or I'm making an empty promise, which is fine, because apparently it's unclear to people. This is a hobby. Thank you for watching. Oh my god. And I will see you next time with another book review or another video, whatever comes first. Mamma mia, here I go